What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and you're watching our college football channel. We continue with our 2023 predictions. Indiana is up next. Let's take a look at some of the other predictions for the Hoosiers. You see the FPI has them at 3.9 and 8.1. Athlon has them at 4 and 8. The over/under is at 3.5. So you're talking about 3 and 9, 4 and 8. That seems to be the consensus here for Indiana. Again, just 4 and 8 last year. So not really high expectations here for Indiana. You know, I think this team actually has a chance to be pretty decent. Taven Jackson, a quarterback transfer coming in. How good can he be for them? That'll be a big key. They've got some pretty good running backs. Cam Camper coming back from injury. A wide receiver will be big. Offensive line looks to be okay. Defense looks to be decent as well. Linebacker position going to be a strength for them. Secondary going to be a weakness. That might be the weakest area of this team. But, you know, this team might improve. They might be a little bit better. But when you look at the schedule, it's just hard to find the wins. And here is that schedule. You know, you got to play Louisville in the non-conference. You look at who they play in the Big Ten. There just aren't many easy wins there, man. I don't think there's any easy wins on the schedule in the Big Ten. So they'll open up with Ohio State on September the 2nd. First game of the season. They're playing at home. New quarterback for Ohio State. I look for this game to be somewhat close in the first half, but I think Ohio State will get it together and they'll pull away in the second half. So I don't really see Indiana winning this game or really being in the game in the fourth quarter, but maybe they're in the game for a half. I think they're going to lose that game, and then I think they will beat Indiana State. So a 1-1 start for them. Then they get Louisville on September the 16th. I'm not going to say they have no chance in this game, but this is going to be a tough one. Louisville has a really talented team. They've done a really nice job in the transfer portal with a new coaching staff and everything. You never know. I mean, maybe Louisville, maybe it just doesn't come together for them, and Indiana has a chance to pull off the upset here. But I just don't really see that happening. I think Louisville will win this game, but I do think they bounce back and beat Akron. So a 2-2 start here for Indiana. They get Maryland the next week, September the 30th. You wonder about the secondary for Indiana. I talked about them earlier. They could really struggle in this game. Maryland going to be a really good passing attack on offense. So I think this is a bad matchup. I think Maryland at home takes it. And then Michigan, this game's just not going to be close. Michigan going to be too good. The game is on the road. I think this will be a blowout, so I think they will lose that game as well. I do play Rutgers next on October the 21st. So a winnable game here. It's going to be a tough, hard-fought game in my opinion. This is really one that I could see going either way, but I think home field advantage and just kind of being desperate for a win might be enough for Indiana. You're not talking about a great passing team in Rutgers, so it's a pretty good matchup for the Hoosiers. I think they get the win here in a close one. I've got them beating Rutgers. Then they go on the road to face Penn State. Similar to the Michigan game, just not close at all. Penn State's going to be really good. Game is on the road. No reason to really expect Indiana to compete in this game. So they drop to 3-5. Then they get Wisconsin on November the 4th. It's going to be a totally new look Wisconsin team this year, and they're going to be good. I really feel like they're going to be a top 15 team at least this season. You know, there are a lot of new faces, so you never know how it's going to come together, just like with Louisville. But they've got the talent. They've got the roster to be a really good team this year. So I don't think Indiana wins this game. Maybe they keep it somewhat competitive for a half. But at the end of the day, Wisconsin too much. They get Illinois next on the 11th. A matchup that Indiana maybe has a shot in, but it's on the road. It's going to be tough. I think the game's pretty close, but I just don't see them winning. I think Illinois will take this one. Then they get Michigan State on the 18th at home. Michigan State, really, I don't know what they're going to look like in terms of passing offense with some of their big weapons gone. Of course, Peyton Thorne gone, entering the transfer portal. So I think this is a Michigan State team that's going to rely on the run. I think this will be a low-scoring defensive battle. But I think, again, it's a desperate Indiana team playing at home. I think they find a way to get it done. They beat Michigan State, and then they close things out with Purdue. I'm not very high on Purdue. I think this is a game, you know, rivalry game. It's a game that could go either way. Wouldn't be surprised if Indiana won it, but it is on the road, and so when it's a close game like this, I'm usually just going to go with the home field advantage. So because of that, I'm going with Purdue, and I think Indiana goes 4-8. So, you know, you look at the schedule, and again, getting to 6-6, getting to a bowl game, it's going to be tough. I mean, where do you find two more wins? Purdue, maybe. Illinois, maybe. I mean, it's going to be tough for them to get to a bowl game. And you can see how 3-9 is a possibility, but I think they get a couple of wins in the Big Ten, get to 4-8. Not a good season, but again, looking at the schedule, 4-8, I think would be a decent season for this Indiana team. Again, given the schedule and all the tough opponents that they'll play. We'd love to get your thoughts, your predictions on Indiana. Let me know down in the comments below.